With the GoCurrency.com sports ticker, I'm Tim Mulhaupt on the Huskers Radio Network. Happy Friday, Huskers fans. Nebraska Track and Field announced today their recruiting class for the upcoming season that includes 44 new student athletes between the men's and women's programs. Among the newcomers highlighted to the women's program, FIU transfer Rima Atobor, who comes to Nebraska as a first-team All-American and two-time national champion as a javelin thrower. And Clemson transfer Trishana Hemmings, where she was a two-time All-American and two-time ACC champion at Clemson in the events of the 60 and 100-meter hurdles, as well as the 200 meters. On to the men's side, two All-American transfers joined the program in the throwing group. That would be Arthur Peterson, arrives from UT Arlington as a two-time All-American, two-time Sun Belt champion, and a four-time national champion in his native country of Denmark. Jonah Wilson transferred from Washington, where he was a three-time All-American. You can check out the full list on Huskers.com. And getting started later tonight up at Hibner Stadium, it's Huskers women's soccer. They'll hold an exhibition against Tulsa. That's at 7:05. Good luck to our own Sammy Hawk and the Huskers in that one. They're just underway here on a couple of games in Major League Baseball, one being Braves and the Marlins. That game is scoreless in the top of the second. Everything else slated for later tonight, as we'll see the Padres and Nationals meet at 6:05, just a couple seconds away from first pitch there. It's the first game back in Washington for Juan Soto after he was traded to the Padres from the Nationals. Also breaking just before we went on the air, Fernando Tatis Jr., the star young player for the Padres, plays shortstop, plays outfield, is expected to be suspended for performance-enhancing drugs. He was almost back from a rehab stint that had taken the entirety of the season up until now with a broken wrist, and is now potentially facing a suspension. Other games tonight: Guardians and Blue Jays at 6:07, Orioles and Rays at 6:10, Tigers and White Sox at 6:10, Yankees and Red Sox, classic one up in Boston, that's at 6:10. Phillies meet the Mets at 6:10. 7:05, Mariners will battle the Rangers. 7:10, the Dodgers take on the Royals. At 7:10, the A's will battle the Astros. At 7:15, it's the Brewers and the Cardinals. At 7:40, it's the Diamondbacks and the Rockies. At 8:38, Twins and Angels. And at 9:15, it's the Pirates visiting the Giants out west. Also, lots of preseason action going on tonight in the NFL. Currently behind us on the screen, it is the Falcons and the Lions. It's a good one so far, 14-10. Falcons lead that one in the second quarter. In just a few moments, the Browns and Jaguars will kick off. Deshaun Watson is able to play in this game. His suspension is not finalized yet, so he's able to play and will play tonight against the Jaguars down in Jacksonville. At 6:30, the Cardinals meet the Bengals. At 6:30 as well, the Jets will kick off against the Eagles. And at 7:30, the Packers will meet the 49ers. So a couple of Huskers in action tonight. Samori Toure with the Packers. We'll see Cam Taylor-Britt with the Bengals as well, among others. And finally, this update is presented by Currency. Does your business need help financing big-ticket items like equipment, trucks, and trailers? Currency is here to help. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. That's the ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and Sports Nightly is next on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
It's a pistol set. Van Treese trips to the near side. Snap back. Stretch play right to Cook. Hit and drop. He'll lose yardage.
Garrett Nelson
firing from the backside. Brings him down. It's a loss of 2. It's now 4th down and 3.
Alex Rodriguez floats it over. Pass by Eggleston. Tight to the net. Hits it back. Swings. Block back. Nebraska's got 3 blocks. Lucy Krause. The night of her life so far. It's 13-9 Big Red.
Snap back. Play action. Taking a shot. Throwing pass. Caught by Manning at the 10. Eludes a Boilermaker to the 5. One more. Manning dives. Touchdown. Nebraska.
Light diving, dig Hampton and libero. Now Penn State right front. Johnny Parker, great up by Rodriguez. Left front swing, Matty Kubik, kill. 23-13. Lexi Rodriguez, a clinic thus far.
Huskers 2nd and goal to 6. 2 wideouts left, 2 to the near side. Ramir Johnson off to the right. They turn, give it off to Ramir, left side, cuts back at the 5. He's in. Touchdown, Nebraska. Ramir Johnson's 3rd rushing touchdown of the year.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
TGIF, you folks made it. Another weekend, a summer weekend. They're clipping those off. The only couple left. So somebody yesterday made a comment to me and said, you know, you get to Memorial Day and you're thinking, okay, I got all of summer ahead. and you blink and it's Labor Day. It's like, where did the time go? And it was a quick summer around here.
It really was. It really flew by. I was one of those people that thought, okay, we have some time, we'll get a little breather, but then I feel like I just woke up and we're doing these Friday night shows. It's our, third?
Sounds right. Yep.
But we're about to not have them again here. Every other week or so when we have volleyball matches. So it's, it's just
a little
crazy.
bit hit and miss
for
Friday shows with volleyball going on. Volleyball's been practicing all week. We've not been able to hear from any of the players. You were at an event last night. John Cook spoke, but I don't think he revealed any secrets about practice. I think next week they're going to make some players available to us to talk and see how their camp has been going.
Yeah, no, he talked about his horse, Bud, of course, and his Cowboy Inn and all of that, but we'll see how that team is shaking out. He did not give us, because we joked with Coach Applewhite, so he mentioned in his speech that I don't know who RB1 is yet. I almost, but I didn't have enough guts to ask Coach Cook, hey, so who's setter one?
Yeah.
Exactly. Kind of same thing. But I didn't ask him, so we'll hopefully find out soon enough.
Well, and we do have a radio show with John on Tuesday night. Our first volleyball show is Tuesday night, 7 o'clock, hour number 2 of Sports Night, so we'll look forward to that. So just a couple of days away from that. Husker football back on the practice field today. No availability today. After tomorrow's practice, the head coach will meet with the media for the second time during the camp, and we'll recap what he has to say on Monday night's show. It'll be pretty old news by the time we get to it Monday night, but we'll recap some of the highlights of what he has to say. And it'll be interesting to see, because we heard from Mark Whipple on Wednesday, and he was not shy about saying bad practice for the offense. It'll be interesting to see what the head coach has to say about how the offense has responded the last couple of practices. Did they rally? Did they come together? Did they show a little fight? I imagine that they have, but we'll, I'm sure, get that update tomorrow from the head coach.
Next scrimmage is tomorrow, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. So, it'll be interesting. And I don't know if we ever got a feel for who won the first scrimmage. I think the defense did, but we'll, as far as how the coaches evaluated the outcome of it, but it being that the defense probably won the first one, being that they are ahead of it, that also adds to the being fired up about, scrimmage number 2 too, being that they came off the bye the day that they had a bad day and Whipple called them out, and then they had the off day, and then they practiced today, and then tomorrow's a scrimmage. Hopefully they come out fired up.
So it'll be interesting to hear what he has to say. We'll, again, put it all together for you on Monday night show. The next time we get a chance to talk to players will be on Tuesday after that practice, so we'll have that for you on Tuesday night's program. Tim mentioned in the ticker, if you're looking for something to do tonight, there is a soccer match. It's an exhibition one. It's free. Free admission out at Hibner Stadium, 7:05. They'll drop the ball. The Huskers and the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. The Huskers had an exhibition this past Sunday up in Omaha. Scoreless match with UNO, so hoping to maybe get some offense generated tonight. We'll track that in hour 2 of our program tonight to see how things are going. We'll be able to statcast that. I think they've got maybe even a one-camera set up with a stream for later tonight, but not until so 7:05 is when that starts. So again, if you're in the area, I know we do have some soccer fans out there that love to go out and catch some Husker soccer action. Again, the match is an exhibition, doesn't count to the season record, but it's their last tune-up before their season gets cranked up next week. That's when they'll have their first one. Also, busy weekend in town, and not like in May, but I've seen some graduates out on the east side of the stadium taking some graduation pictures of the four.
I've seen a lot of that too.
Not as much as May, but a few people have been out there. The August graduation of the 4 is by far the smallest, but there are some people in town. Pinnacle Bank Arena is where the graduation ceremony is tomorrow. Husker Athletics will have 13 current and former student athletes that are graduating and getting their degrees tomorrow, including Darian Daniels, who is Damien's older brother, who only spent 1 year in Lincoln. He had played his first 3 years of eligibility at Oklahoma State, came to Lincoln and wanted to play with his brother, and did, and then has kind of kicked around. He's been with the San Francisco 49ers in the NFL, currently on the Falcons. In fact, I forgot to watch. They're at halftime of their game with the Lions tonight. I think he's been out there for some matchups. But Darian is getting his degree tomorrow. Mosai Newsom, a current Husker, also going to be getting his degree. I remember talking to Mike Dawson about how cool that is that Mosai Newsom is picking up his degree and still has a couple of years of eligibility left. From the women's basketball team, Nalia Dillard is getting her degree, and Riley Zune from volleyball picking up their degree as well. So 13 student athletes. It's Chance Roach. A lot of people remember Chance on the baseball. He was part of that weekend rotation not this past season, but 2 seasons ago for Will Bolt Huskers. They made that run in Fayetteville. Chance was one of the weekend starters. He's getting his degree. And some highly decorated gymnasts also picking up their diploma. So congratulations, 13 student athletes picking up their degree. We get all caught up in wins and losses and how athletes are competing, but it's also a pretty good deal when they pick up that diploma.
Yeah, I think it's awesome too, because even going back to last summer and talking to Isaiah Roby, and he went on and was playing in the NBA.
JB.
And John Baylor is
just bike behind you.
Biking up here. Is he coming to make an appearance here?
I don't know. I didn't.
Tell him to come on and join the show.
It would be an unscheduled appearance.
He was supposed to be there last night. I don't think he showed. So maybe we can make up for it tonight. But no, I mean, just going back to talking to Isaiah Roby and how the academics, Keith, Dennis LeBlanc and those guys help those, even once they go on and they're playing in their pro career, help them figure out what they need to do to go about getting their degree. And it's not easy to do, playing an NBA career and then going about getting that degree. But, he just really raved about how they make it, doable. And it was important to him. So for those players that they do go on, but they do want to finish, whatever, maybe it's a master's, maybe it's a bachelor's, whatever it might be, that you're not done once you're done wearing the uniform here, that they're going to help you get that degree.
So congrats. 13 of them tomorrow will get that official diploma. And in Darian Daniels' case, kind of like what Jessica's talking about Isaiah, an athlete that's been out for a couple of years playing pro football, but gets that degree. And that's always cool to see that happen for that. As Tim mentioned also on the ticker, some more preseason football tonight. A lot of games tomorrow in the NFL. So keep an eye on some of those former Huskers as they try to make a team. Austin Allen did get 1 catch last night for 15 yards, so I'm sure he was pretty excited after the game was over.
I saw that. That was kind of trending on Twitter last night, so good for him. And hopefully he'll continue to get more opportunities as the preseason goes along, being that, as we talked a little bit last night, that a lot of times you see some of the, ones maybe not play as much in the second and third preseason game, and it kind of allows the opportunities for some of those guys kind of fighting for the roster spot. But I'd be interested if there's 4 tight ends on the roster, right? Didn't we look that up? I wonder how many they would carry.
Maybe even if he makes the
practice squad.
The practice squad. Even if he could do that, because you get a check, you're on the practice squad, and if somebody gets hurt, you're ready to elevate up and play. So we'll keep rooting for him and all the Huskers who are out there trying to make some football teams moving through. We have a really cool show for you tonight. You've been working on a lot of Title IX, look back in the 50th anniversary of the Title IX legislation and some stories that kind of weave in and out of that. And you've got a really interesting one that we're going to play some of that here in a couple minutes.
Yeah, so Carol Frost, you want to talk about someone that's just, an inspiration, but just refused to allow the lack of resources or even opportunities for that matter stop her from wanting to compete. And I have been wanting to talk with her since I got here and started hearing about her story. And so got her in the studio, and it was fascinating to hear her journey and all the things that she went through to become an Olympian, the first woman from Nebraska to become an Olympian. And so, that's coming up, and I think people will enjoy hearing her story.
Great. We're going to have that for you here in a couple of minutes. Then in hour number 2, the Big Ten Conference put together a trip for student athletes and even some administrators and coaches to go visit Selma, Alabama, to go back and relive a pretty big moment in the civil rights movement during the 60s, and that was the March on Selma. And so a couple of Huskers had a chance to go do that back in July, including Marquita Armstead, who's our senior women's administrator. They came in and sat down with you as well. We're going to hear some of that conversation.
Yeah, and Michaela Moore, who was on the track and field team, and he is impressive. Again, a lot of times we run these interviews and we'll have people text in about how impressed they are with some of these student athletes that maybe we don't always get to hear from, because we hear a lot from football, but some of the other Olympic sports, and he is an impressive guy. He wants to be a physician, has all these, dreams, and he's so, everything, not just competing on the track, but everything that he does outside of it. And so, just hearing their perspective on it and the things that they learned being there that you just don't, they don't necessarily always teach in the history books. And so it was fascinating. It was really cool to get to sit down with them. So I'm excited for that one too.
Great. So that's coming up in hour number 2. And we'll finish off tonight's show with winners and losers of the week. That seems to become a pretty popular thing. People seem to want to jump all over that. So we'll have that for you. The guys were compiling their list before the show tonight, so it should be interesting to jump into some of that. We'll keep an eye on some of the action that's going on around the NFL in the preseason and update some of the headlines. We'll keep an eye on Husker soccer once they get going at 7 o'clock out at Hibner Stadium. And we want you to be a part of the program. We always do. 402-413-2400. That is the number to dial us up with a comment or question, or if you prefer texting, and so many of you do, that's great. We have a text line. It's the same number. We made it really simple. 402-413-2400. That is our Sports Nightly hotline, brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. Back to hear Jessica's conversation with Carol Frost. That's next.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. Nebraska's new collaborative biosecurity lab is leading research to safeguard America's food supply against growing threats, in partnership with the U.S. Departments of Defense and Homeland Security. The lab brings together world-leading expertise in agriculture and a deep understanding of the complexities of strategic deterrence across the threat spectrum and in multiple domains.
The Mazda lineup of SUVs will provide safety, performance, and capability on your journey ahead. From the 3-row Mazda CX-9 to the first-ever Mazda CX-50, our sales team is ready to guide you to the SUV for your lifestyle. Shop the Omaha Metro's exclusive Mazda dealers at Woodhouse Mazda in Bellevue or Woodhouse Place Mazda. Visit us online for your next Mazda SUV at woodhousemazda.com.
Save with low price lockdown from Hy-Vee. We've locked down prices on hundreds of your favorite everyday items. Prices are locked down for months and months on major leading name brands. The products that you like, the products that you want, and products that you'll want to stock up on. And all of the prices are locked down until we unlock them and lower them even more. Low price lockdown. Deals you can't beat anywhere. Only at Hy-Vee.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Seasons change, but your land stays the same. You need the right solutions to keep you moving. That's why you rely on Acres Equipment, your premier John Deere dealership and proud partner of Nebraska Athletics. Whether you're harvesting, protecting your crops, feeding the herd, maintaining your lawn, improving your business, or letting off some steam, Acres has what you need to get the job done. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Every day, Central Valley Ag Cooperative works with our farmers to feed the globe. Embracing the cooperative spirit, CVA's innovative products and services in grain, agronomy, feed, and energy deliver world-class value to our members. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Learn how we grow agriculture together at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal, because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle. using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Farmers Mutual of Nebraska is proud to support Husker athletics. Having a confident teammate beside you makes all the difference when it comes to protecting what matters most. With a proven track record of dependable coverage, unmatched financial strength, and a prompt claim service team right here in Nebraska, that's insurance kept local. Visit FMNE.com to contact an agent for a quote today. Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, it's sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody, and a slight programming change on the run here tonight, because when John Baylor comes into the studio, we got to have him on.
Well,
right?
and he forgot that we live stream, and so people in the chat saw
you
him
biking by,
bicycling behind me, and so the demand is there that you have to hop on the mic.
Oh, these fans, I love them, but I'm not a big OPEC fan. I'm a big bicycling fan. So if I can avoid harming the environment, avoid using more petroleum, I do it.
Pedal power.
Plus it keeps you in shape.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are into these electric e-bikes now. I'm kind of old-fashioned.
Those things are all over the TV. If you're watching any kind of TV, those little motorized ones that get you going.
People are e-biking everywhere. I just kind of like leg power. I'm a late adopter on these things. I'm just getting kind of excited about microwave ovens. So I'm a little bit of a late adopter.
You air fryer guy? I'm a big air fryer.
Andrew's microwave blew up today.
No.
Uh-oh.
It did.
Look, campfires. He's in the right state. This little campfire will take over.
Hey, I got to pass along this comment from Jim Briggs in the chat. Love JB. He's the most unique announcer I've ever. Always amazes me how he comes up with funny, and still keeps you in the game. Outstanding.
Oh, that's very kind. I try not to be like Phil Rizzuto. See, Phil Rizzuto, he's a longtime Yankee announcer.
Loved him. Yeah.
He'd spend an inning talking about a new Italian restaurant. He'd be like, hey, I found this place, Rizzuto's. Oh, it's a great. Oh, try the spaghetti. Okay, ball one. Okay. Rizzuto, the spaghetti, you got to have. Oh, and Martha behind the bar. She is fabulous. All right. Mercer 1-1. Okay. Anyway, you got to get there for the linguine. I mean, it's like, okay, cool. Phil Rizzuto, a classic.
Two things. You had a busy day. You went to the funeral for Jack Pierce. I stopped by his visitation yesterday. What a guy. What a great storyteller, too.
Yeah. And a lot of big names that fans would recognize who used to wear the scarlet and cream and shoulder pads were there, too. And, I don't want to pretend I knew Jack as well as I wish, but he is such a character, great storyteller. I mean, he's the guy who recruited Louisiana for a long time. And so, Neil Smith and all those guys, I mean, you recruit Louisiana for Husker football, you're going to have stories every month.
Oh, yeah.
And he did it for years and years. And what a magic touch. I mean, you've got an all-time team for most football programs in this country just using Jack Pierce recruits.
Right.
I mean, that's how great he was for so long. And that's his professional experience and expertise. He's just beloved. I mean, just a lot of people feel very close to him and are hurting because he was in failing health for a while, and we lost him.
And you literally just came from volleyball practice.
I did.
How was it? How'd they look? Give us all the tea.
How do I tamp? See, my role is to try to manage expectations. That's what I'm trying to do here. And everyone's like, let's play Croatia tomorrow. I'm like, let's slow down. But it's really high-level volleyball. I mean, for example, Caitlin Horde is a 3-time first-team All-Big Ten performer, a former All-American. She just transferred here. She's 2 inches shorter than Maggie Mendelson, and it's noticeable. And Maggie's 17, and Caitlin's 23, so it's different. But I mean, there's that kind of talent level in that room, and that room sounds like a bunch of quarterbacks sitting around. No, in the gym. That's all you guys talk about now is in the room. Well, that room. Anyway, there's a lot of rooms in the football program. But my point is, they play in an arena, and it's very impressive to see the talent level already. Big time work in progress. Just a little caveat. I mean, Kenzie Knuckles is playing, let's just say, auditioning front row.
Kenzie?
Yeah, she's 5'8", and they've got so much depth there, but then you have to think about Ani Albright. But Ani Albright was 5'10", 5'11". But still, I mean, Kenzie was one of the all-time kill leaders in Indiana high school history. She's an amazing back row attacker. They're giving her an audition in the front rows. That was one thing that stuck out to me. But John Cook will be with us on Tuesday with a lot
Looking
more.
forward to that. Yeah. Crypto says, Greg, the Sports Nightly show just went to the highest level with JB.
Oh,
And then he said,
Crypto.
And then he said, you look younger and younger every time he sees you.
Oh,
Is this
Crypto.
like a relative, do you think?
No, but I'm trying to audition for a hair implant NIL deal, I guess. But hopefully he did not invest in crypto about a month ago. But,
Yeah, it's been up and down. It's been
it's
crazy
like a
stuff.
down.
Well, it's good to see you. Thanks for stopping by and coming on Tuesday night, 7 o'clock.
Should be a
Here we
great
go.
season. Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. Solder it on your schedule every week. Well, some weeks it won't be Tuesday, but most weeks.
Most
the
weeks,
Nebraska
Tuesdays.
Volleyball Show, 7
Yeah.
o'clock Central. Thanks, guys.
Very good. Good to see you, JB. What a special addition to the show right there.
Yes,
Crypto,
I
you're
mean,
right.
it's sticking with the theme of Fridays are kind of like a
Yes.
party, you know? And
The party in the
party just walked through the door and hopped on the mic with us.
That is great. Hey, buckle up. Put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Back with Jessica's conversation with Carol Frost. That is next.
It's time to amp up the fun now during the Ford Summer Supercharged Sales Event.
Just move on up.
Get great offers on select Ford vehicles, and you'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So stop by the Summer Supercharged Sales Event at your Ford dealer and discover how Ford can take your summer to a whole new level. Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for information.
Just move on up.
How do you remember things? Post-it note, string around your finger, smartphone reminder? Whatever you do, remember Nebraska Pick 3 2x2 and My Day. 3 great Nebraska Lottery Lotto games that are all $1 per play with drawings every day. Nebraska Pick 3 lets you choose your own bet type. 2x2 has a $22,000 top prize. And with My Day, you choose a 6-digit date. Must be 19, please play responsibly. Oh, got a reminder. Produced Nebraska Lottery commercial. I'm all over that.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance. Visit shelterinsurance.com and find an agent to help you choose the coverage you need. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
SOS to the rescue. SOS to the rescue.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so hot. The air conditioner is out again. SOS, he screams and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
Did you ever buy something and get more than you expected? Emeritus offers insurance, employee benefits, and financial services, but we deliver so much more. The comfort of a human voice when you need it, the confidence of flashing a beautiful smile, the relief that your family can keep living the life they love, the serenity of knowing you've planned well and can enjoy life. That's what we really deliver. We call it fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services, and much more.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan. How can I help?
Hi, thanks for telling my family and me about Toyota's national sales event.
Oh, you're welcome.
We got a new RAV4 during the event, and it's been great.
Well, that makes me happy. Right now through September 6th, it is the best time to drive off in a new Camry Hybrid, Tacoma, and more. So what are you up to?
You know, we took the RAV4 to a great spot. We've hiked, rafted, and now we're exploring a cave.
Amazing. You're inside a cave right now?
Yep.
Well, I'm glad the RAV4 could make it all happen.
Yeah, my wife talked me into spelunking. I'm actually a complete and absolute amateur. Huh, I could have done without the echo on that.
Toyota's national sales event is on. Visit your participating Toyota dealer today to enjoy every last second of summer. Toyota, let's go places. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer inventory may vary. Event ends September 6th.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. Nebraska researchers are designing the next generation of roadside steel barriers through an industry partnership with Trafix Devices. This partnership has produced the Delta Crash Cushion, a simplistic, effective way to keep drivers safe on highways. This barrier is vital for roadside safety and significantly improves the chances motorists will be able to walk away from roadside collisions.
We're back. Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center. It's sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody back with you here on a Friday night. As quickly as he came, he is gone. John Bader has already exited the building.
He flew off that. I mean, he flew out of here. He can bike pretty fast.
He does. He's in remarkably good shape, much better shape than I'm in. He's not a young guy anymore, but he looks like, and then somebody commented on he looks like he's still about 30.
I've noticed, like, cycling's a pretty big deal around here.
Rhonda Revell's over in Europe
John
cycling.
Cook.
John Cook. I don't know how much John's doing anymore because now he's cowboying.
Yeah, because he's riding his horse now instead of his bike. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I've heard a lot about it over the last year that I've been here.
Coach Revell she's a warrior.
Yeah.
And she's done it for years and years. She used to teach, and maybe still does, a spin class in the mornings downtown somewhere.
Wow.
So
that would be an awesome class to take.
Wouldn't that be? Wear me out. Better you and Andrew than me. So, all right, another person who probably could ace the spin class is Carol Frost.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. She could still ace the spin class. Yes, so she has just a tremendous story, and so got a chance to have her in studio here the other day, kind of part of our Title IX series that we've launched, talking to pioneers and women that have paved the way that have ties to Nebraska athletics. So here is a portion of that conversation with Carol Frost. You had talked about you had a teacher that saw a group of girls that maybe had potential. So how did that go about where he made it happen for you guys?
That was an amazing story. And I often say without Randall Lambert, my life would have been totally different because we did. Our softball team came down to Lincoln and we won state. We beat Gary Sporting Goods and we beat some Lincoln teams. We won conference, Cedar Valley Conference in volleyball. And so we had more than one athlete. And so he saw, it took about, 6 of us and called us the Road Runners. And we started a track team. And I started off as a half miler and a hurdler and threw kind of on the side. And he was a fundraiser. He didn't know that much about track, but he was a researcher. And back then you couldn't go to YouTube, but you could get a couple videos, and a book or two. And so we kind of taught ourselves.
Wow.
And my junior year, between my junior and senior year, he took us from Cedar Rapids, Nebraska, all the way to the Los Angeles Coliseum. And I threw in the Junior Olympics in the Los Angeles Coliseum. And I got second in the shot, did terrible in the hurdles and the half mile. I no way I had the kind of speed that you need to do that. And I threw the discus and could have won, but it was the old story. My best one was out of bounds. But I knew that I could throw with the best people. And so after that, I became a thrower.
So that's a quick time to go from just starting the sport to making the national team. What went into that? How did you get so good so fast?
It was, there was a field right behind the school in Cedar Rapids, and I remember that the trash can from the circle was 150 feet, and that was my goal, to be able to throw past that. And to place in the nationals, you had to throw between probably 155 and 65. And now the gals that are throwing over 200 feet, but with a lot more training.
Right, yeah.
I had no idea what a weight was when I was throwing. My weights were milking the cows, carrying milk up and down, from the barn to the house, and that was my strength training.
So some people might have heard you say this, but I thought this was fascinating. You spent all that time, became an Olympian, and really didn't have the facilities or the resources to even get there. Can you take us through that?
No. I in high school, Cedar Rapids, Nebraska had no weight room. Like I said, my weight room was working on the farm, cutting cockleburs and walking the corn and lifting irrigation pipe and carrying milk cans and milking cows by hand in the morning and night. And so that was my weight training. So I came down to the university. I lived in Pound Hall. Part of my work at Pound Hall has 13 floors. It used to before they destroyed it. Pound Hall had 13 floors. I'd run those 13 floors. Ran up to the fairgrounds and threw at the fairgrounds, because the University of Nebraska did not sponsor any women's athletics at that time at all. I had to work through a lot of things. I worked my first 2 years, didn't have any kind of scholarship, of course. My folks couldn't pay for it. So my junior and senior year, I became a student assistant. And my junior year, I was a student assistant at Pound Hall. And I would leave Pound Hall and run straight up, 16th, 17th Street, straight up to the fairgrounds, do my throwing and my running. And when I came back, a lot of times, I was sweaty. You could tell I'd been working out. And the lady, and I can't tell you her name, the lady that was the head honcho over the grad assistants, did not like that I was coming back sweaty. She thought that was inappropriate. And the next year I was transferred to Abel Hall.
Wow. So, during that time, again, it was no Title IX, and it was not necessarily anything was handed to you. You had to work through a lot of stuff, and not necessarily easily to train, all of that kind of stuff. So why were you motivated even then through all of those things?
I started loving athletics, like I said, when I went to watch my brother play basketball. He had a scholarship to Norfolk Junior College in basketball, so I saw a lot of basketball. I always wanted to play. My best memories on the farm are throwing this. I had a weighted rubber softball that I would throw off of the house, and field ground balls, and just play by myself, throw. I said to my grandkids once, I said, I used to shoot baskets in the corn crib, and they go, what's a corn crib? And you're wiping the mud off the ball, no cement, no anything. And winter, summer, I just loved sports. And so when I had the opportunity to go beyond high school and do something, that was what a lot of people didn't have a chance to do in my day and age.
I was talking to you the other day, and you're telling me a little bit about when you took the job here and you began coaching here. Can you tell me about that? And you had, 1-2 scholarships?
Yeah.
And what that was like at that time?
That was in 1976. My husband, Larry, took the head football job at Lincoln High. And at the same time, I was head cross country, indoor, outdoor, had one assistant, and earned $2,000.
Wow.
That was my first salary at the university. They didn't have scholarship money. I had like two $200 scholarships that I could give out, and our very first year was at the Bob. So I opened Lincoln East High School, also Bob Devaney, because that was the year that Bob Devaney opened. And so I didn't have to coach in Mushroom Gardens, which is just under the stadium over here. And but I had one assistant, Linda Zeck. My husband, after he got done coaching at Lincoln High in the spring, he would come down and help. So I had basically myself and 1.5 other assistants. And but we ended up winning what was then the Big 8. We ended up winning the Big 8 indoor, Big 8 outdoor, and got second in the nationals.
Wow.
So yeah, we went from hardly even having a track team to winning the Big 8 championship.
Was
and
it
then
hard?
Gary Pepin took over for me, and wow, what a career.
What a career for sure. Just retired.
Yeah.
So how did you get into football coaching then? What was that transition like for you?
Well, I coached at the university from 76 to 80. My husband coached at Lincoln High from 76 to 80. And, you know, by this time now, I'm having to spend a lot of time away from home. There's a lot of recruiting time. It's really starting to be more of a big-time operation. My son Steve was in 2nd grade. Scott was just going into kindergarten. And between Larry and I spending as much time with sports, we weren't able to spend as much time as we wanted to with them. And so he took a coaching job at O'Neill, Nebraska, which is probably C2 now, probably was C2 then. And he came from Lincoln High, and he had a whole staff of like 5 coaches. And he goes to O'Neill, and it's him and one other guy. And Larry really liked to throw the ball, grew up, you know, played under Tom Osborne, and wanted to implement a lot of the throwing stuff that Osborne had. And so Dennis Gall was his line coach, and Larry couldn't coach quarterbacks, running backs, and receivers. And I had been throwing to him while he was playing at the university. I'd been throwing the football to him for a couple years. And so I pretty much knew his stuff. And so he said, I started coaching his receivers, and that was in 1980, 81. And so for like 20, 25 years, I was boys' football
You said
coach.
you were throwing, did you have a cannon of an arm?
Yeah.
You could throw it pretty good, good, right?
I can throw 40. I could throw 40 yards. I couldn't throw 50. But yeah, that was one thing that you know, everybody wondered, what do the boys think? What do they think about you? But they, you know, at first, every school we ever went to, they'd throw the ball back to me like I was going to break, you know, and I'd throw the ball at them. And yeah, they quickly learned that I could throw the ball. I could throw all the outs and the corners and the horns and everything that we ran. So
Wow,
yeah,
that's awesome. How did you go about? I mean, again, because you talk about coaches evolve and knowing what to teach the boys as the game evolves and just staying on top of the wide receivers.
That was totally my husband. I mean, he was the whole game planner. He handed me the practice schedule and said, do this. And but he called the game. You know, I was just, he always just said that I was a good coach because I was a good technician. Well, that comes from being a throwing coach. You know, I could teach footwork, I could teach how to catch the ball, but as far as the strategy goes, he was the one that did all of that.
So how did you go tackle the technique part of it and teaching the wide receivers that?
He you know, it was basically the same thing. He taught me what Osborne taught him, and I taught that to the kids. So I coached wide receivers and defensive ends. We ran a 5-man front, and a nose, 2 tackles, and 2 defensive ends. And so on defense, I coached defensive ends, and on offense, I coached receivers.
Wow, that is so cool.
Yeah.
So, celebrating 50 years of Title IX, and you were in sports before even Title IX was passed, but you think about the 50 years and how far it's come, and even from when you were competing to now the opportunities. How do you reflect upon that and the growth of women's sports?
Oh, gosh. As I look back, I just so wish that I would have had the opportunities that girls have now. Had sports been what they are in 2000, even in 1990, compared to what they were when I graduated in 1965, my first love was basketball. I would have loved to have a scholarship to the University of Nebraska in basketball. If I didn't have it in basketball, it would have been softball, because I played softball on the state championship team, and so those were my first two loves. But there was no opportunity. So I ended up going to the Olympics in track and field because the opportunity was there.
I mean, just a incredible conversation. I appreciate her sitting down with me. And that was just a small portion of the longer conversation that I had with her that's up right now on all of our podcast platforms, wherever you listen, also on our YouTube channel, on Nebraska Athletics YouTube channel. And that portion here on Sports Nightly being brought to you by Bank of the West. Women-owned businesses are vital to a thriving culture of entrepreneurship, innovation, and responsible contribution to community and the planet. Bank of the West is proud to provide resources, training, and solutions to help you achieve your goals. Learn more at bankofthewest.com, member FDIC. But yeah, I mean, I loved every second of getting to chat with her. Could have asked her 1,000 more questions, but
she's lived a remarkable life, hasn't she?
I mean, again, it's still, and I know we've come a long ways, but even just like as a woman in sports broadcasting and some of the things that I've had to deal with, like I just think about what she went through even before Title IX existed, and just it doesn't really make excuses about it, but just, hey, she found a way to get it done, and hey, no big deal, just become an Olympian. It's so inspiring. It's so great to hear her story. And she doesn't, when I asked her that, one of the questions that I asked that wasn't part of that clip of it, what does it mean to you that people see you as, someone that helped pave the way and an inspiration? She's like, I don't think of myself like that. I appreciate you saying that, but that's not why I did it. I just wanted to play. I just wanted to compete. And boy, she found a way. If that doesn't motivate people,
it's awesome.
So again, go check out that whole conversation right now. I think people will really enjoy hearing her perspective.
Good stuff. Great to hear from Carol. Our phone lines, text lines wide open if you want to be a part of it. We still have a few minutes left here in hour one, 402-413-2400. Our hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. Back with our last segment of hour one next.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Families who travel to Nebraska's only Ronald McDonald House are facing extremely uncomfortable situations. Their child is sick in an unfamiliar city, unsure of how to handle it all. But when they walk in the Ronald McDonald House, they can find comfort in the little things. A quiet moment away from the bombardment of beeps and buzzes in a hospital room. The taste of a home-cooked meal. A calming voice saying it'll be okay. Help us provide the little things that make a big difference. Support a one-night stay for a family in need by visiting rmhcomaha.org/Huskers.
The 2022 Nebraska football home opener is right around the corner, and we can't wait to welcome the Sea of Red back to Memorial Stadium. Secure your spot as your Huskers take on North Dakota on Saturday, September 3rd at 2:30 p.m. for only $30. A limited number of tickets remain and are only available while supplies last. To get yours today, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Save with low price lockdown from Hy-Vee. We've locked down prices on hundreds of your favorite everyday items. Prices are locked down for months and months on major leading name brands. The products that you like, the products that you want, and products that you'll want to stock up on. And all of the prices are locked down until we unlock them and lower them even more. Low price lockdown. Deals you can't beat anywhere. Only at Hy-Vee.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Husker Athletics offering a couple of football ticket plans that you might be interested in. The opener with North Dakota on September the 3rd, $30 tickets while the limited supplies last. We've told you about the Oklahoma Plus 2 mini plan. Get you a ticket to the Oklahoma game, 2 to the North Dakota game, 2 to the Georgia Southern game. So all games in September. That's $270. And then a Big Ten plan where the 4 Big Ten home games, Indiana, Illinois, Minnesota, Wisconsin. That's a $200 ticket plan. You can visit huskers.com/tickets and piece your plan together and mix it all in there and get yourself into the stadium for a couple games this fall to see the Big Red play. Had a text about, is Ron Brown still part of the program? Yes, he is. He is, and I'm looking for it on Huskers.com. I don't know if it's an offensive analyst, something like that. I'll get the exact title that he has. But, yeah, see him walking around the sidelines in practice. And, yeah, he's very much a part of the program. I know Scott Frost probably will have Ron Brown around as long as he's the head coach here. It's always good to see Coach Brown. Lions, Falcons, Deshaun Watson did start tonight in Jacksonville, went 0 for 2. And then out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just don't really care.
Leaves you kind of a sour taste, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When you think about that whole thing.
It's just the whole fiasco. I just want no part of it.
Yeah. In fact, some guys in the chat room have been having some fun with that conversation. They're fired up about making some picks. They're ready to do the picks.
Already.
We're 2 weeks away.
It's a good thing you already sent the picks out, which there's not many games to pick from.
No, not week 0.
So you already sent it to us. And so they started talking about it. They've been talking about doing their picks again. So I don't know. I mean,
so's Andrew.
I believe Children of the Corn is the reigning champ. Like, I am the reigning champ of our crew. Children of the Corn did not beat me, so we'll see if anybody can beat me this year.
Andrew has dubbed this the Revenge Tour year.
Yeah, right.
Because, he wants some revenge after
pull the plug.
finishing toward the bottom last year in our picks.
Towards the bottom. I mean,
trying to be nice to him.
He started at the bottom and stayed there.
Trying to be nice to him. Oh, goodness. What a fun hour. Great JB popping in. That was the best.
I mean,
Carol Frost.
Party on a Friday. That's what we do.
That's what people expect. They're putting pretty high expectations on our Friday shows from now on, too, right? Next hour, we're going to hear about a great experience for some Huskers who had a chance to go with some Big Ten representatives to go visit Selma, Alabama, and relive that civil rights march back in the 60s. We'll have that. Winners and losers also coming your way next hour for the week. All that and more of your calls and texts. Come on back. Have some fun.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown Bar District.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up, home. Drop off downtown Bar District.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
Hey, Husker fans, it's time to gear up for the season. So let's do it right. Jerseys, hats, hoodies, and more. Shields has everything you need to show your Nebraska pride. Visit our fan shop online or in-store for the biggest and best brands in the game. You'll find the right gear to level up your team spirit with all the essentials for your pregame parking lot party. Shields, proud partner of Husker Athletics and football fans everywhere.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance. Visit shelterinsurance.com and find an agent to help you choose the coverage you need. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We are your shelter.
SOS to the rescue. SOS to the rescue.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and heading for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he is so hot. The air conditioner is out again. SOS, he screams and calls SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer trusted since 1950. With Luxair, you get a free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. SOS Heating and Cooling.
SOS to the rescue.
With the GoCurrency.com sports ticker, I'm Tim Mulhaupt on the Huskers Radio Network. And happy Friday, Huskers fans. Hour 2 coming up here shortly. But Nebraska Track and Field announced today their recruiting class, including 44 new student athletes between the men's and women's programs. Among the highlighted newcomers to the women's program are FIU transfer Rima Otobor, who comes to Nebraska as a first-team All-American and two-time national champion as a javelin thrower, and Clemson transfer Trishana Hemmings, where she came out of Clemson as a two-time All-American and two-time ACC champion in the 60 and 100 meter hurdles, as well as the 200 meters. On the men's side, 2 All-American transfers are among the group of new athletes joining the program. Arthur Peterson arrives from UT Arlington as a 2-time All-American, 2-time Sun Belt champion, and 4-time national champion in his native Denmark. Jonah Wilson transferred from Washington, where he was a 3-time All-American. You can check out the full list of recruits at Huskers.com. Also, just getting started up at Hibner Stadium tonight, it's our own Sammy Hawk and Huskers women's soccer as they hold an exhibition against Tulsa. Good luck to Sammy and the women's soccer team. They're just 1 week away from the start of their regular season. Next Thursday, they'll be on the road there getting their regular season underway. And we all know Nebraska sports are right around the corner. Over to pro sports tonight, very busy all over the place. In baseball tonight, the story right before the show started tonight was Padres star shortstop and outfielder Fernando Tatis Jr. on his way back to rehabbing a broken wrist was suspended 80 games. He used a banned substance. He claims it was a ringworm medication, but will accept his term, which is 80 games. That starts immediately. He will not be able to play this season. He's not eligible for the postseason and will serve a suspension that will lead into the start of next season. The Padres, who have been struggling a bit since the trade deadline, they're in a game right now against the Nationals. Juan Soto playing against his former team for the first time since the trade. That one is scoreless in the bottom of the third. The Marlins lead the Braves currently 2-1. That's in the bottom of the fourth. In the top of the fourth, it's the Guardians blasting the Blue Jays 5-0. In the middle of the fourth, it's the Orioles up on the Rays 2-0. Top of the fourth, no score between the Tigers and White Sox. The Yankees, who have been struggling of late as well, 2-0. They lead the Red Sox up in Boston. That's in the top of the third. Mets and Phillies, they're knotted at 1 in the bottom of the third. Some games coming up shortly. The Mariners and Rangers just about set to get started. In a few minutes, it'll be the Dodgers and Royals. Then the A's and Astros at 7:15. The Brewers and Cardinals. The Diamondbacks will meet the Rockies. That's at 7:40. At 8:38, the Twins will play the Angels. And at 9:15, the Pirates battle the Giants out west. Lots of NFL preseason action going on right now across the NFL. The Falcons and Lions are in a good one. That's been going since 5 o'clock. That's 20-17. Falcons leading the Lions. About 5 minutes left in the third there. 13-7. The Jaguars lead the Browns. That one is halfway through the second quarter. The Bengals down 9-0 to the Cardinals. Waiting to see when Cam Taylor-Britt gets on the field in that one. That one's just nearing the end of the first quarter. The Eagles up 14-0. They're blasting the Jets right now. Another former Husker in that one to watch, Cam Jurgens. And then at 7:30, it'll be the Packers, Samori Touré's team, visiting the 49ers. Again, that one about 20 minutes away from kickoff. This update is presented by Currency. Currency makes financing quick, easy, and secure for heavy machinery, ag equipment, trucks, trailers, and more. Visit GoCurrency.com for details. That's the ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and Hour 2 of Sports Nightly is next on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
In motion is Brewington. They snap it back, fake the handoff, looking to throw. They flip it out the flat to Brewington, makes a catch. Touchdown, Nebraska. Well, that looked easy that time. Brewington came in motion, and instead of cutting down the block, kept out in the flat, flipped it out to him for an easy 6 points. And Treese now sends a man in motion. They turn, they flip it off to McDuffie, trying to race to the edge. Gets around JoJo Doma, but can't get around Nick Henrich. He'll go down. He'll lose 3 yards back to the 23-yard line. What a play by Nebraska. It's caught. Touchdown. Omar Manning. What a grab in the end zone. And the Huskers have 6 more points.
What a throw and catch. Yes.
Nice jitterbug move, and it bouncing the outside 40 to the 50-yard line to the 40, 30-yard line, 20. That's Grant, 15, 10, 5. He's in there. Touchdown, Anthony Grant with an electrifying move at the line of scrimmage, scoots to the outside and dashes down the sideline.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Here we are back for our final hour of the night, final hour of the week. And they are playing some soccer out at Hibner Stadium. And the shade,
got it on TV.
The shade has almost taken over part of most of the field with the grandstands out there. And again, if you're around there, you can. It's free admission tonight. It's an exhibition match against Tulsa, as Tim mentioned in the ticker. They'll open their season for real next Thursday night, so it won't be that far off for that to happen. So we'll keep you abreast of what's going on in the match out at Hibner with the Huskers tonight. Coming up here in a few minutes, we're going to hear from Marquita Armstead, who led a group of Huskers along with some Big Ten student athletes, administrators, and coaches to Selma, Alabama to learn about the history of that very famous civil rights march back in the 1960s, and what a great educational thing for all of them to go and learn about really big time in the history of our country. So we'll have that for you here in a little bit. Later on in the hour, the old winners and losers segment. The guys have been working hard on putting theirs together, and we want to hear from you as well. 402-413-2400. I did look up Ron Brown's official title is Senior Offensive Analyst, but yes, he is a part of the football program moving forward for the Huskers. And I have not seen enough of the soccer to form an opinion yet.
It's kind of hard to see because of the shadow.
Yeah.
It's because it's dark and then bright, and so hopefully that goes down pretty soon.
Yeah, we'll monitor that.
That one camera stream makes it difficult.
It kind of does, doesn't it?
But hey, it's on stream. That's great. So
cool.
We're checking in on our girl Sammy.
All right. This thing that the Big Ten put together to go down and visit Selma, Alabama, what a marvelous thing to do, and what a great learning experience for student athletes, administrators, coaches. This was a fun thing, and you talked to a couple of Huskers who had a chance to go down and take advantage of that.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I went to one of the football practices and was on the sideline, and Marquita Armstead, who people on this program should be familiar with. We've had her on a couple different times, and she was kind of telling me about it. And then you and I talked. Oh, we should do something for the show, and then. Asked her about getting an athlete that came on, and Derek Walker was one of the ones that went. But Michaela Moore, she recommended him come in. And In Our Voice piece is up right now on Huskers.com. And so we wanted to have him come in and be a part of that with Marquita and just talk about their experience. And so, again, longer form podcast up right now on all of our platforms. But this a portion of their experience of what it was like to go be a part of the Big Life series from Selma to Montgomery. We guys just recently took a trip to Selma and Montgomery as a part of the Big Life series, and wanted to talk about that and your experience there. Marquita, first of all, tell us about the Big Life series and what you knew about that and how it came to be.
I actually didn't know much about it until I started working here. Dr. Lawrence Chatters, who's our Executive Associate AD for Strategic Initiatives, called me after I'd taken the job and said, hey, the conference office is planning this trip for student athletes, staff, coaches to Selma and Montgomery this year as a part of the commissioner's efforts to, open up more widely about diversity, equity, and inclusion issues, voting rights, and, everything after the pandemic and the racial reckoning that we had in 2020. And would you be interested in going? And I said, of course, I'll go. And so didn't know all, what all it entailed. This was the first year. It was the Big Ten, the ACC, and the Pac-12 schools that participated in this. And I think what it will, again, continue past this year. I think they're still working out what that's going to look like. But for this year, it was really to take the trip there with the student athletes to reenact the march, I think is the right wording that I'm trying to use, or, take that same trek that the marchers took. And then we had other activities through that 3-day weekend that surrounding the topic of mainly voting rights is what he wanted us to the commissioner said was his aim, and what that process was like, and then also the struggles that came along with achieving that.
So what was it that you knew that you wanted to be a part of it when it was presented, what was going to happen? Why did you want to go?
Yeah, I saw the opportunity to meet with a lot of like-minded individuals, people who thought like me, and have a platform to use their voice and take that knowledge and bring it back to their university. And so I was really excited to get to meet with everyone and experience that with all of them.
You can read about some of the stuff in books, but what kind of perspective do you get being there? And he was talking about being in the place where Rosa Parks didn't want to get on the bus, and just to feel it and experience it in that way, and not just be learning about it from a history book. What kind of perspective did that provide?
For me, as an African American female, it made me very grateful for how far we've come. I think, I know everyone has opinions, and I don't think that these types of things are politics, but it makes you also remember. There's something about remembering so that we don't make the same mistakes, and that we continue to move forward as a country, as a people, towards better for everyone. And there's so many different battles still that we have to fight and get through. But it just really, for me, it was the remembrance. It's hard. And like he said, that these are people and lives and things but I think just remembering that, honoring that, and again, for me, I had a real sense of gratitude for just how far we've come.
For you?
Yeah. I think what I saw is that how much the textbooks don't teach us. Mm-hmm. I mean, just speaking to his name is Foot, the guy that approached us, and he was telling us how Rosa Parks wasn't actually the first person to refuse her seat on the bus. And in that spot, they don't even have Rosa Parks Memorial. In that, they have four names of other women who did, and they used Rosa Parks as the face for that movement because she had the cleanest track record, and that's something that I'd never learned in school, and that was just crazy. So it's like, what things do we know, and what things are we missing? We have to piece together the story, and that's what that trip really did for me.
You heard Marquita talk about a lot of it was teenagers that led the way, and John Lewis was 25 at the time. And how inspiring is that for you? You're about that age, you're close to an age. How inspiring is that to know such a difference that they made at that time and the impact that you could potentially make? Yeah,
that I learned, there is no excuse. There's no excuse for being exhausted or tired for pushing for something, because the fact that we were able to sit in front of them on that day, knowing that colored people weren't even allowed in that certain buildings at only 60 years ago or so, 70 years ago, is crazy. So I feel like I owe it to not only them, but my generation and generations to come to keep pushing and keep fighting.
Biggest takeaways and biggest thing you walked away from? I know you talk about being grateful, but just as you convey this message to other people and they're hearing about your experience, what do you hope they take away and learn?
I hope that people, one, I think if I've told people if they're ever close enough to get there and to see. I think the biggest takeaway is when you walked away, like I said, you could kind of transport yourself back in time a little bit. Some things have stayed the same there. So there is work to be done that we can all do. And I think that's going to be the next phase of this from the conference. Honestly, the commissioner spoke briefly about that and doing some things to give back from some of us that have a lot to give and our resources and time that we can give back. So I think that's the biggest thing is just people to go, be open-minded and see. Not trying to change anyone's mind, but just opening up. Like Michaela said, there's so much that we don't know that we can learn, and that I think if you have the opportunity to go and can be a part and also give back, that those are the things that we can do. And the biggest takeaways from that trip for me.
Yeah. I think somebody once said, or when we were down there, somebody said, you don't visit Selma, you experience it. And I think that's something that resonated with me over the course of the trip. And I think that there's a lot more, like she said, we can invest in that community and build playgrounds and make sure that those kids are seeing where they can be in the future. Like, they're seeing college athletes, they know they can get there, they know they can succeed because they haven't had that in the past. They don't have that to look up to. So with that, and then one of the freedom riders that we had the chance to speak with, she said, and this also stuck with me, this was probably my biggest takeaway that I remember the most, is she said her generation basically put the unity back in community, and it was our generation's job to put the human back in humanity.
Wow, that's powerful. I know you have a lot of accolades, academic. I know you're volunteer. You had the Sam Volz Award this year. You do a lot of things outside of just being a student athlete. Why is that important for you to, make an impact and do well in the classroom and everything else other than just what you do on a track?
Yeah, so for me, I want to be a physician, and I think that is a role that gives you the opportunity to inspire many people and touch the lives of many people. And along with that, I believe you can't be, I've told Marquita this, you can't be, or it's hard to be what you can't see. And so I want to be that inspiration for other people that look like me, as well as other, like all children. They can look up and be like, that is achievable for me. I know that I can do this. So in order to achieve that goal, I know that I have to do well in the classroom. And I also really enjoy giving back to my community because they've given so much to me.
And Marquita, I know you're still good. You're shaking your head. I know you're getting settled in. You're getting to know some of these student athletes like Michaela. How special is that to see the goals and aspirations that they have outside of what they do as an athlete?
I mean, I think we all know these student athletes are phenomenal people. They do so much. We ask so much of them, and they meet all of those the goals and the expectations that we have for them. I was just really proud. We got I had multiple people tell me how impressed they were with our student athletes. We took 3. And 2 additional male student athletes in addition to Michaela, and how well they represented Nebraska and how thoughtful they were and how they were actually just participating in all of the activities, taking it in. And you can tell because of the way that he's explained it, how transformational it's been for him. So they just make you really proud and really, really, again, I can say grateful again to be a part of helping them along the way and on to adulthood. It just really makes you proud.
Well, any final thoughts? Anything we missed we need to make sure and talk about?
I would say that if an opportunity arises, take it. I didn't know all that I was getting myself into, but I mean, I could have never imagined that I would have been able to take away what I was able to take away. So just putting yourself out there and trying things new things is how I was able to even have this experience. So
again, just loved hearing their perspective and some of the things that they experienced. Michaela, absolutely impressive. I mean, just I'm one of those another student athletes that does it all here. I mean, he competes, but has won citizenship awards and academic awards and all of that. But just such an impressive student athlete, and that, much like the Carol podcast, just a portion of everything that they talked about, so you can hear all of that right now on our podcast platforms. But just such a cool thing that the Big Ten is doing, and awesome for them to have that experience. And yeah, I mean, just again, and at the end there, you heard Marquita talking about how everybody was so impressed by the 3 student athletes that went from Nebraska and how they were involved and active and how they handled themselves. Just really cool. And I learned a lot by them talking about what they learned while they were there.
Yeah, Derek Walker, you mentioned earlier, was one of the Husker student athletes that made that trip as well. Can't wait to kind of just ask him what his impression was of all of that. I just saw a movie recently about that march, and it was the guy who played in Get Out. I think it was a Jordan Peele movie. It was really good, really, really good. Martin Luther King played a big factor in that as well. So huge part of our history and a really big moment in the history of this country. So really good. Glad that they're able to do that. All right. Need to step aside, get a break in. Our phone lines, text lines open for you, 402-413-2400. It's our hotline, which is brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime. With 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned, you can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. All right, back with more of the show coming up.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
How do you remember things? Post-it note, string around your finger, smartphone reminder? Whatever you do, remember Nebraska Pick 3 2x2 and My Day. 3 great Nebraska Lottery Lotto games that are all $1 per play with drawings every day. Nebraska Pick 3 lets you choose your own bet type. 2x2 has a $22,000 top prize. And with My Day, you choose a 6-digit date. Must be 19, please play responsibly. Oh, got a reminder. Produced Nebraska Lottery commercial. I'm all over that.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
The Ford truck lineup is purpose-built from the ground up, designed to be tough and productive. Crafted with high-strength, military-grade aluminum alloy body and torture-tested high-strength steel frame with new tech to help you work smart and hard. The F-150, Ranger, and Maverick are built tough and ready to tackle whatever lies ahead. Hit the road in confidence and learn more about Ford trucks in-store or online anytime at WoodhouseFord.com, your trusted truck dealer since 1975. Woodhouse Ford.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. During the summer of 2021, 3 UNL students helped safeguard cattle across the state. Neely Anderson, Tatiana Jones, and Ashton Commons developed secure beef supply plans that prevent the spread of disease outbreak. The plans protect nearly 850,000 cattle across our state and provide greater economic security for this vital industry.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance. Visit shelterinsurance.com and find an agent to help you choose the coverage you need. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Families who travel to Nebraska's only Ronald McDonald House are facing extremely uncomfortable situations. Their child is sick in an unfamiliar city, unsure of how to handle it all. But when they walk in the Ronald McDonald House, they can find comfort in the little things. A quiet moment away from the bombardment of beeps and buzzes in a hospital room. The taste of a home-cooked meal. A calming voice saying it'll be okay. Help us provide the little things that make a big difference. Support a one-night stay for a family in need by visiting rmhcomaha.org/Huskers.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, it is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you Friday night, 402-413-2400. The number to dial us up with a comment or question. We're monitoring some Husker soccer. They're in action out at the Hibner Stadium against Tulsa. No score. They're they're about 20 minutes into the match out there. A lot of pressure put on by the Huskers, but so far they have not found the back of the net.
You know, this is what I mean about, we talked last night about, I'm not a huge NFL person, but when you have people that you are invested in, then you start watching them, and then it means a little bit more. I'm not a huge soccer fan. I don't necessarily love watching the sport. Sorry, Andrew. Sorry, everybody. But, like, it's just not a sport.
Your mic's been turned off, I think. So.
I'm unplugged, of course. He's running the board back there. But I'm not a soccer person. I didn't play it. It was not something that I was brought up on. I haven't got involved in it. But Sammy comes in here and works for us. I got to know her. And I am, like, all in on this match right now, or this game. I'm like, I'm trying to watch, and so yeah,
It's distracting. We've
it's
got
like
that.
completely
We got-
changed my. I'm like tuned in. It's made the breaks here. We've got something to lock into here.
We got NFL. It's hard to do the show sometimes, folks, when you got live sporting events going on, and we're trying to monitor all of that. Hour one, we talked about that it's graduation weekend here in Lincoln, and 13 Husker student-athletes are graduating, and we've spotted some people coming up by the stadium to do their graduation pictures in their cap and gown. And Tim in Minnesota said when you talked about graduates getting their photos taken, it brought back memories from 30 years ago in May when I got my bachelor's degree, especially special now with the photos with my parents. And absolutely, that's what those are about, and those are lifetime memories that you want to be able to keep in, those are the things you hang on put in your office or in your house and put them up on the walls. And those are special festive days. And so the Haymarket will be jumping tonight and tomorrow with graduates out to celebrate their accomplishment. We congratulate all the graduates, and especially the 13 Huskers who are graduating. Deshaun Watson's night is over. He did play tonight for the first quarter for the Browns. He only went 1 for 7. That's not a very good performance. Or 1 for 5 for 7 yards.
It doesn't break my heart, and it doesn't break our Steelers fans, producers' hearts either.
They're leading, though. They've come back. They now have the lead 14-13 on the Jags, almost a halftime in Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence, you like him? Is he one of the former quarterback for the Clemson?
I'm indifferent.
This was a battle of Clemson guys with Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence went 6 of 12, so 50% passing. He did throw a touchdown. His night is over as well. A lot of times, first preseason games, the starters get maybe the first quarter, then they're out. And Wilson from the Jets got hurt in his appearance tonight for the Jets.
Andy Harris is pointing out 6 drops, Greg, on purpose. He thinks his wide receivers are dropping the ball on purpose.
There were a couple drops. There were. So, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, if he threw the ball at me, I'd drop it.
Wow. Cold-hearted.
Cold-hearted? I mean, he should not be on the field tonight.
I agree. I don't know that anybody's feeling much love for Deshaun Watson. And that's too because I really liked him in college. I liked his game. And Game Day did these fluff pieces about what a good human being he was and taking care of his family and all those type of things. And I was kind of rooting for the guy. And then you start hearing what's been going on the last couple of years and makes you cringe a little bit.
Yes, it absolutely does. I mean, I've been pretty, I think, honest about how I feel about it. And I don't think he should be on the field. And it's, you feel bad for some of the women that have gone through what they've gone through, but it will not hurt my feelings if he is not successful. But I'm with you, though. I was a big fan I think that's probably why I'm as salty as I am, because I was a fan of his it comes out.
Now you feel like you were lied to.
Yes,
like
he comes out, he supports the community during the floods and the hurricanes and all the things that he did. And I think that's a lot of what the women are saying too, is that they were all being told that he was such a good person and has done so much for the city, and then they turn around and are, taken advantage of. And that's where I'm like, I just feel duped, like he was on my fantasy team, actually helped me put up a lot of points, but then it was just like, when all this stuff kept coming out, and then whatever you want to say about, well, he hasn't been proven guilty in court, you can argue that all you want. When there are 30 women that have come forward, around 30 that have said that they have complaints or issues, to me that's just not okay. And I am on the side of theirs, because they wouldn't say anything, because in this day and age you get attacked for that, and so for them to come forward, it's just a lot
of times the victims become again victims by public opinion.
Yes. Because he's the quarterback, so I mean, I'm just not heartbroken that Deshaun Watson is not doing well right now.
In the line of NFL quarterbacks, I just saw some sad news. Len Dawson, the legendary Chiefs quarterback, led them to a Super Bowl win in Super Bowl IV, went on to a terrific broadcasting career, did that show on HBO Inside the NFL for decades, was part of the Chiefs radio broadcast. He has entered hospice care, so the time has come into the end for Len Dawson, one of the legendary quarterbacks in the early years of the National Football League. And I've met Lenny a couple times. Great man. I think everybody in Kansas City area was probably saddened to hear this, that Len Dawson may be down to his final few hours of life. All right, need to take a break. 402-413-2400, the number to dial us up with a comment or question, or fire off a text. We'll continue to monitor the soccer action out at Hibner. Back with more of the show next.
Discover the pinnacle of American automotive design with the all-new Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer. Woodhouse Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Blair is your Wagoneer certified dealer, delivering an experience to match the premium quality of your vehicle, making your choice easy. The all-new Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer are equipped with state-of-the-art technology, a luxurious, expansive cabin, and confident capability you would expect from this legendary SUV. Visit us in-store or online at WoodhouseChryslerJeepDodge.com.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. The university has a new undergraduate business and law major. Students majoring in business and law are learning to use legal knowledge to better solve business challenges. They are also gaining skills in regulatory compliance, financial services, securities regulation, and corporate social responsibility. Upon graduation, they will boost the state's talent pool in these critical areas of expertise.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Thanks for calling Toyota. This is Jan. How can I help?
Hi, thanks for telling my family and me about Toyota's national sales event.
Oh, you're welcome.
We got a new RAV4 during the event, and it's been great.
Well, that makes me happy. Right now through September 6th, it is the best time to drive off in a new Camry Hybrid, Tacoma, and more. So what are you up to?
You know, we took the RAV4 to a great spot. We've hiked, rafted, and now we're exploring a cave.
Amazing. You're inside a cave right now?
Yep.
Well, I'm glad the RAV4 could make it all happen.
Yeah, my wife talked me into spelunking. I'm actually a complete and absolute amateur. Huh, I could have done without the echo on that.
Toyota's national sales event is on. Visit your participating Toyota dealer today to enjoy every last second of summer. Toyota, let's go places. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer inventory may vary. Event ends September 6th.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
Seasons change, but your land stays the same. You need the right solutions to keep you moving. That's why you rely on Acres Equipment, your premier John Deere dealership and proud partner of Nebraska Athletics. Whether you're harvesting, protecting your crops, feeding the herd, maintaining your lawn, improving your business, or letting off some steam, Acres has what you need to get the job done. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Every day, Central Valley Ag Cooperative works with our farmers to feed the globe. Embracing the cooperative spirit, CVA's innovative products and services in grain, agronomy, feed, and energy deliver world-class value to our members. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Learn how we grow agriculture together at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Time to tell you about a couple of ticket options being offered up by Husker Athletics for some games coming up in September. There's the North Dakota game. That'll be the home opener on September the 3rd. Those tickets are going $30 each. Not a big supply of them, but they are available for you, $30 a piece. Then the OU Plus 2 mini plan, a ticket to the Oklahoma game, 2 to the North Dakota game, 2 to the Georgia Southern game. That goes for $270. Then a Big Ten mini plan, $200 for games that include Indiana, Illinois, Minnesota, Wisconsin. We have 4 conference home games this year, not 5, but 4. And so that's $200. If you're interested in any of these, you can find information online at huskers.com/tickets. So take advantage of that. 402-413-2400, the number to dot us up with a comment or question. The guys in the chat room were talking about remembering when people could go to the game and smoke in the stands and have a cigar. That made me, when I was talking about Len Dawson in the last segment, Jessica, he was the starting quarterback for the Chiefs in Super Bowl I, so 1966. There's a picture of him in the locker room with a cigarette in his hand. You wouldn't see anything like that.
In game, or
he still had his uniform on. He was I think it was the game was over, but he was puffing on a cigarette there in the locker room after the game was over.
You know, I was just sitting here thinking, watching Trey Lance run out onto the field. Is this the most quarterback drama we've had in the NFL?
Maybe. Pretty big.
Ever?
I mean, you got Jimmy G's not anywhere right now. Lance has taken over. The talent level at quarterback in the National Football League right now is really, really good.
Yes,
Burrow,
but then just
Allen.
all the drama surrounding it, like the 49ers with Jimmy G and Trey Lance, and then Deshaun. We were just talking about Baker and Carolina, and
Baker might
Sam
be the
Darnold,
starter.
And
I think Baker may win that job.
I think he is. I mean, Andrew and I, you were on vacation. Andrew and I sat here and talked about if we thought who would be the starting, and I said, I thought Sam Darnold would be to start the season, but that Baker would win it eventually. But now I kind of want to backtrack on that.
I think Baker's going to be the guy.
Because I think he's going to win it. And so, I mean, he's just a guy, he thrives when his back is against the wall and people doubt him. And from all accounts that have been reporting, he's performing way better in camp than Sam Darnold. And so...
There are so many fascinating quarterback stories in the NFL right now.
Well, and then Tom Brady now taking a leave. Like, again, just throughout the league, just a lot of quarterback questions.
So a lot of preseason action throughout the week for you to get locked into.
And Kyler's contract, is he going to study enough film?
They took that out now. They've removed that clause from the contract.
There's so much drama surrounding the quarterbacks. There are some divas, I guess.
All right, what have we seen soccer-wise tonight? No score. They're inside the last, 15 minutes of the first half. Huskers have kind of dominated play a little bit, even had a shot that hit the crossbar. Our friend, Sammy Houck, the Husker goalie, has not had a lot to do so far. But I like what I see. I see Nebraska controlling the ball a lot.
Yeah, it has not been, and again, I'm no soccer expert, like I have said I'm no hockey expert, but it has not been on Sammy's side of the field hardly at all.
It is right now, but
yes.
She's done a good job down there.
But for the most
well.
part, it's been, since the start of it, at 42 minutes since I've been watching, it's been mainly on the other side of the field. So she might be pitching another shutout.
Good
2
for
for 2.
her. Keep it going. That'd be great. Couple other sports stories of the day. The Fernando Tatis of the San Diego Padres, a terrific young player in the Major League Baseball. He's been out with some injuries, about ready to come back, but he just tested positive for PEDs. The MLB has given him an 80-game suspension. So the Padres, who loaded up on the trade deadline and got a couple of big names in the trade deadline, including Josh Hader, the top closer in Major League Baseball, they now, Sammy just made a save, Tatis now will miss the rest of this season. He won't be available for them in the postseason, and he will miss part of the start of the 23 season as Tatis testing positive. So big story out of Major League Baseball. And bad news for Carol Frost's San Diego Padres, which is one of the teams that she likes to root for. So
yeah, that was not part of the conversation earlier, but she talked about that in the podcast. If you want to go listen to more of that, and she watches the Cubs, who apparently Scott Frost.
He's a big Cubs guy.
Okay, he's a Cubs guy.
He's a Cubs guy.
And then her other son and grandson are fans of the Padres, so she watches them. She goes into all of that. So
you
Cubs
don't really
and Padres.
have a major league team, do you? You're not really a fan of one of the teams.
I mean, kind of the Dodgers, I guess, because I've told you about my.
They're playing the Royals tonight.
I
Kansas
have
City.
Family that my dad is a Dodgers fan, so it kind of instilled in him or in me. And he had an uncle. They would go to Dodgers. They would go out to California every year and go to a Dodgers game. So he loves the Dodgers, and so he's a pretty diehard Dodgers fan. So that kind of was it. But I really don't care till the postseason. Like, come the postseason, I like to watch baseball. But until then, I'm not really like, I don't go all in on watching games.
Andrew became a Braves fan last year. Obviously, they won the World Series, so
He
that's
literally jumps on the bandwagon of every team.
He did. Yeah.
Like, he's a Duke fan.
Good. Oh, the Braves is good. I'll be a Braves fan.
Like the hockey, like somebody in the
Rangers.
Yes.
Yeah, he became
it's
a
like
Rangers.
every
They didn't
team
win,
that's
though.
like winning, he jumps on their bandwagon.
Tim is a Yankees guy, but he grew up back east, so that's pretty normal. A lot of people back there, either you're Boston or a New York Yankees
Well,
fan.
and the Yankees weren't good probably when Tim was growing up. They didn't.
Were they good?
No, there was a time they were down.
Well, kind of right now. They haven't won a
when you're in
series
college.
since 2009, so they've gone 13 years. I'm a Royals fan, grew up in Kansas City. They're terrible, but they did win it all 7 years ago.
But again, like you guys are talking about where you grew up, like there's no Major League Baseball
True,
team.
in
That's why I'm
Oklahoma.
like all in on
maybe
the
you'd be
Thunder.
Rangers. Maybe the Rangers would be the one.
You know, a lot of
closest ones to
Oklahoma
you.
fans are either Royals or Rangers.
Yeah. Well, for a long time, the Rangers AAA affiliate was in Oklahoma City.
Yes.
Now it's the Dodgers, I think, that have that AAA
So Clayton
affiliate.
Kershaw actually made a rehab start there recently, and so, I mean, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I guess I would claim the Dodgers.
Okay, very good. Buckle up, put that phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Go Braves, as Andrew would say. We pick on poor Andrew way too much, don't we, on this show? I
He loves it.
I think the people in the chat room they feel bad for him. They want to defend him a little bit. Sam in Omaha says that Tatis talk about that it was steroid to treat his ringworm. Are you guys buying that? Yeah, I'm with you, Sam. I'm having a little hard time believing that that's the actual story with that thing. All right, we're going to take our final break of the night. We'll keep you updated on soccer, and we're going to save some time for everybody to jump in with their winners and losers of the week. That to wrap up tonight's show.
Touchdown, Nebraska! If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more. Got it! Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's time to amp up the fun now during the Ford Summer Supercharged Sales Event.
Just move on up.
Get great offers on select Ford vehicles, and you'll not only bring back the fun, you'll supercharge it. So stop by the Summer Supercharged Sales Event at your Ford dealer and discover how Ford can take your summer to a whole new level. Not all models, trims, or features may be available. Contact your dealer for information.
Just move on up.
It's more powerful than the legendary Husker option offense. More powerful than the black shirt defense. It's the sun, and you can harness its power with J-Tech Solar. J-Tech, the official solar energy experts of the Huskers, can help you shrink your energy bills and start saving money now. Solar power is clean, affordable, and it's dependable because the sun always shines on the Huskers. J-Tech Solar for your home, business, or agriculture energy needs. Visit jtechsolar.com.
Our Sports Signing Hotline brought to you by Woodhouse, where you can shop your way from one of the 16 convenient locations or online at woodhouse.com anytime with 18 brands and a huge selection of pre-owned. You can always find what you're looking for with Woodhouse. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you Friday night. Final few minutes of the program here tonight. Dennis on our text line said, what baseball stadium would you like to visit before it's torn down? I was at a game in Atlanta where Henry Aaron hit that 714th home run. That was pretty cool. Dennis, Dodger Stadium. I've not been to Dodger Stadium, and I've not been to Fenway. So I need those.
I've been to both.
Have you really?
Yes.
Haven't been to either one. So been a bunch to Wrigley, but I've not been to Fenway or Dodger Stadium. Now, Crypto says, yes, Greg, poor Andrew. And so Andrew, during the break, was coming up with
he got
visual evidence
sent, so
of him being a
you know
long
what? I'll
time.
eat crow if you want to. Can
camera.
you, Andrew? So I'm backing you up here.
There's he.
You want to zoom in?
He
or?
sent a picture of a Duke in a Duke
it's him
outfit.
to prove that he's been a Duke fan.
And
his
he looks
entire...
like he's about 8, maybe, in that picture. 8 or 9,
Yeah.
7 or 8.
I think
maybe?
I was second or third grade.
All right, yeah, so 7 or 8.
And then apparently there's a
shot with his dad at Kauffman Stadium wearing a Braves hat.
A Braves photo. So
he's fighting back.
Oh, here it is. Let me pull it up.
Andrew's dad's a weekend winner, a weekly winner.
Oh, I'm the week winner.
So yeah.
He got mad. Here it is. Here we go. Supposedly that's
supplying visual evidence.
Supposedly, I don't know. You can
right.
see. So
we'll let him.
Andrew, you gonna switch the camera over here to see it, or what? Are you gonna leave it on Greg?
No, I'll put it on.
Okay, you gotta. Yeah.
There it is, right there, everyone. Visual evidence. Me being from Kansas City, but loving my Atlanta Braves with my dad. Went to the game, and I always wore my Braves gear. So that is visual evidence right there. And I also had myself with Duke. So
there you go.
Had to prove them all wrong.
All right.
So there we go.
I'll find my Lakers stuff next, and then I'll get I'll have the whole collage.
But again, though, you just pick, even as a young child, though, you just pick winning teams.
Boo. That's
So-
all my
It's easier
dad
that
liked.
way.
That was all my dad's team, so everything
It's easier
he
to
did.
do that. All right, winners and losers. Tim, lead us off.
Okay, I'll go with first. I'll start on the negative side. I mean, Tatis is hard not to pick.
Yeah,
I mean,
loser of the week.
After that, I don't want to kill two birds with one stone, but I was going to pick the Patriots coaching staff because their offensive coaching is. Everyone loves Bill Belichick. I get it. It's well warranted. He's a Hall of Fame coach, but
pick a coordinator.
The way they've done it in the preseason, that first game, they had a different coach for each quarterback. So they changed their offensive coach. They have 3 different Mark Whipples, apparently, is what they're saying. So I'm going to go with the Patriots, and I'd love a chance to give a Boston team a negative one on that. And then winner of the week, DJ Moore, wide receiver for the Panthers. He went into the stands. I don't know if it was, I think it was the preseason game they played, but it might have been, I saw it was called Fan Fest. There was a fight about to break out. People were filming it. He went up into the stands and de-escalated the situation, and in his full uniform is up there talking people down, and he stopped the fight from breaking out.
Wow.
So,
cool.
And that's a lot of money. I mean, I'm sure the Panthers were holding their breath because he makes a decent amount of change. He's a big part of their offense. He put a lot on the line there, and was a great influence on the event they were having and also society. So we need more of that. Thank you, DJ.
Great stuff. Crypto says Andrew is his weekly winner, but okay, Jessica.
Okay, so my loser is basically some journalism, quote unquote, sources. So Golf Week put out a article, golfweek.usatoday.com, and this got a lot of controversy on Twitter this week. The headline was "Controversy is alive and well at FedEx St. Jude Championship." So talking about golf, like, and the live stuff. But so controversy is alive and well at FedEx St. Jude Championship. So are the kids with cancer. Like, terrible headline, awful, hate that. And then also Deadspin put out an article talking about the Brent Venables and Cale Gundy stuff that happened at Oklahoma, and then claiming about a player that, and they cited basically Twitter to be their source, and the source on Twitter was a Texas fan, just, again, trying to stir up stuff. So journalism, to me, a couple of places of journalism are my losers. My winner is Serena Williams, and announcing, she's going to retire, and just, talk about a GOAT, and Tiger Woods, what he did for golf is Serena Williams to tennis. And so she's my winner this week.
Hopefully she wins a match or two at the Open later this month. Okay, Mr. Andrew, what do you have?
My winner, I'm going to go with Ken Griffey Sr. and Ken Griffey Jr. walking out yesterday for the MLB on Fox game. Thank you. I appreciate that's the love I need, and I'm liking that. I love that crew. So that's going to be my winner. And my loser, I'm going to go, obviously, Deshaun Watson and Cleveland Browns.
Very good. You took my winner, by the way. I was going to go with Junior and that, saying to Dad, you want to have a catch. And that was his great theatrics last night. Major League Baseball's done it really well with those two things. So I'll go with that same game, but it was a Cubs home game that they gave up to play that last night. So they came up with this hologram of Harry Carey singing "Take Me Out to the Ballpark" for the seventh inning stretch. It gave me chills because Harry did that for years at Wrigley Field.
Can you give us an impression of that?
Harry Carey.
Not off the top of my head. In the right frame of mind after a night at Schilling Bridge, I probably could do that.
Will Ferrell does one, I think.
Yes, he does.
He always had a Harry Carey impersonation.
My loser is Marshawn Lynch, who was found in the last 24 hours in a parking lot in Las Vegas with a car that was completely beat up. He was asleep, so they can't charge him technically with a DUI, but the car was all beat to heck. The wheel was off. He was passed out in the front seat of his car. Thank goodness he didn't hit and hurt somebody. My gosh. That guy, he's a complicated guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
He really is. He has been his entire career. And
always just outlandish stuff that he does. Yeah. Terrific athlete. Amazing football player.
And so someone sent me, I think it actually, Andy sent me the commercial that was done at Super Bowl, I guess, Super Bowl, that had all the former players that come in. It's like fumble at the reception.
Yes. Yeah.
And Marshawn Lynch was one of the guys that was a big part of that. And in the documentary, they said that how great he was to work with, but that he had a mind of his own, and that he came in and didn't want to wear a suit. Everybody else was wearing a suit. And so, he just, I think that's been very evident throughout his career that he is kind of walks the beat of his own drum.
Thank goodness nobody got hurt with him behind the wheel the other night in Vegas. They had a massive flood last night in Las Vegas. Downpour, the Strip was flooded. There was water gushing into casinos out there. It was really messy, I guess.
They're not ready for the rain.
They have no drainage system, so they get a heavy downpour. There's nowhere for it to go. It was bad, I guess, last night in Las Vegas. I need to get out there. I haven't been out there in a while. All right, that's a wrap. What a week, huh, gang? There's a lot going on this week.
Really was. And one more week, and then, hey, it's game week for everybody.
This is the last weekend till what, Christmas without a Huskers broadcast?
Exactly right.
And technically, from us, we got the KRNU doing
soccer right now, but our first volleyball, we'll have the red-white scrimmage next Saturday night.
They want to hear you sing on the chat. You want to send us into the weekend with the song?
Harry just did that. Head on. And 2. Take me out. Yeah, he would do that.
Come on, Tim, you got it.
He'd usually have a bud in his hand, too. That was Harry Carey. Thanks to Andrew and to Tim and all of you for listening. Have a great weekend. Be safe. We'll be back with you on Monday night. Time to tell you that Nebraska 811 says, go dig red before you dig. Always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free. It's easy. It's the law. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Seasons change, but your land stays the same. You need the right solutions to keep you moving. That's why you rely on Acres Equipment, your premier John Deere dealership and proud partner of Nebraska Athletics. Whether you're harvesting, protecting your crops, feeding the herd, maintaining your lawn, improving your business, or letting off some steam, Acres has what you need to get the job done. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Farmers Mutual of Nebraska is proud to support Husker athletics. Having a confident teammate beside you makes all the difference when it comes to protecting what matters most. With a proven track record of dependable coverage, unmatched financial strength, and a prompt claim service team right here in Nebraska, that's insurance kept local. Visit FMNE.com to contact an agent for a quote today. Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
Did you ever buy something and get more than you expected? Emeritus offers insurance, employee benefits, and financial services, but we deliver so much more. The comfort of a human voice when you need it, the confidence of flashing a beautiful smile, the relief that your family can keep living the life they love, the serenity of knowing you've planned well and can enjoy life. That's what we really deliver. We call it fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services, and much more.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting